What's going on, everybody? I am in Missouri along Route 66, about 40 miles west of St. Louis. And let me tell you, the roads in Missouri are gorgeous and fun to ride on. It's just really nice to get out, get into some rolling hills and some twisties, pull on the throttle. But I thought I'd take a moment now to talk to you guys briefly about using the Iron 883 on a trip like this, traveling long distance. So I've touched on this before, I'm going to touch on it now, and I know I will touch on it again, because, well, that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I am riding a Harley Iron 883, a mid-displacement, a higher mid-displacement motorcycle, not really intended for long distance. And so many riders who have stepped up or who haven't really ridden the Harley Iron 883 for very long say that the Iron 883 does not have enough power. Just in general, which I completely disagree with, but they feel it doesn't have enough power for a trip like this. If someone were to ask the question, is that true? My response would be yes and no. Like many things in life, it depends on you. It depends on your riding style, it depends on your knowledge of shifting and how to utilize what you have between your legs. How I ride the Iron 883, I really push those RPMs high. I really utilize that torque to get me to where I want to go. I'm not always in fifth gear at 65 miles an hour. Sometimes I'm in fourth. And I'm not always in fourth gear at 45 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour. I'm often in a gear higher, pushing those RPMs higher, getting the most out of the torque out of this motorcycle. When you're on the interstate, or when you're on roads where the speed limit's 55, 65, 70, 75 miles per hour, I would advise you, and you have an Iron 883, I would advise you to do the same. Really push those RPMs high so you can get the most out of this bike, so you can get it to get up and go when you need it to. Sure, you're going to feel those vibrations, and that's just part of this bike. That's part of a Harley with an Evolution engine. I'm going to play the full cipher game. There's a motorcyclist up there. And, unbeknownst to him, he's now become my riding buddy. You're part of the Great Egret Route 66 squad now. It's a good ride with you, friend. Cool. Buddy, I gotta get a move on. But let's talk about comfort in the Iron 883 riding long distance. Now, clearly I've modded my bike out for this trip specifically. I changed the handlebars to the Biltwell chumps. I changed the seat to the Saddleman step-up. I've added some pegs that are a little bit more comfortable. The highway bar I have on, not only does it help in case of a crash, saving my bike and my legs, it also adds comfort. I can put my feet up if I need to, if I'm on the super slab going long distance. But I will say, the Iron 883, and probably sporties in general, are not for everybody riding long distance like this. So I was hanging out with D-Cycle yesterday. at Ted's Harley Davidson, where he bought a Sport Glide recently. Damn nice dudes at Ted's. Gave us a tour, and some of the other guys I was chit-chatting with. Dude named Grant I was chatting with, he was a pretty good dude, and Toby's a funny dude. Toby, if you're watching right now, I appreciated talking to you, man. And if I'm ever back in the area, I'm looking for you for a popsicle. And the reason why I say that, you guys might be thinking I'm a bit weird for saying that, but Toby says he loves his job because one time, his job was to get people on bikes for test rides and to hand out popsicles. Nobody hates a dude who's getting you on motorcycles and giving you popsicles. Pretty jealous of that job of yours, Toby. Keep up the good work, man. And I said to Toby that I was doing this trip on the Iron 883, and I said, yeah, I'm crazy enough to do that. And he said, yeah, the bike will do it. The bike will be able to make that trip. It's whether you can make that trip on that bike. And that about sums it up, you know? It's a challenge. It's a challenge to ride this bike long distance. You gotta take frequent breaks. You gotta adjust your position. You definitely need to mod out the bike for it. It's kind of like playing Tetris, you know? You don't play Tetris because it's easy. You play Tetris because it's challenging and fun. It's like a Rubik's Cube. It's frustrating to some people because they can't figure it out. We don't try and figure out a Rubik's Cube because it's easy or because it's comfortable to do. We do it because it's challenging. That's what it's like to ride a Harley Iron 883 long distance. It's not easy. And it's fun because it's hard to do. It's fun because it's challenging to do. That's why I do this. That's why I'm out here challenging myself. That's what I'm here to do. I want to encourage everybody watching this video and all my videos on this channel to challenge yourself. Put yourself in uncomfortable positions. Because you know what? That's where you really learn about yourself. That's where you learn how you can grow as a human being. That's definitely what I'm doing on this Route 66 trip. And I'm going to talk more about that in a lot of other videos. But right now I just wanted to keep this video to talking about the Harley Iron 883 and the challenges of riding it long distance. One last thing I'll say about it is a lot of people are wondering how I'm handling such a small tank. And I'll say it's actually a blessing because it forces me to get off the bike. I mean, I want to keep going, I want to keep riding, but I have to fill up, you know, every 110, 115 miles or so. It forces me off the bike. It forces me to take a break, and that's a good thing, man.